Hello everyone, we're looking at obedience and rebellion. Let me tell you this, we live in a world filled with rebellion. People just gravitate towards rebellion. Think of it, you don't have to teach children, young children to rebel, do you? It just comes natural. Well, why is that? Well, the Bible explains that we're born into sin, and sin means that we miss the mark. So, in other words, like shooting a bow and an arrow, you miss the mark. That's the origin of that word sin. So when we have our lives and the Bible is teaching us to yield our lives to God's way and to consider His words, that we would be transformed by the renewing of our minds, and we don't do that, what are we doing? Well, we're missing the mark. We're sinning. So God tells us to come to Him, and many Christians have done that. And many Christians have been glad to do that. And, they get emotional in services sometimes. Tears are flowing down. Oh, yes, I'm so happy I'm a Christian now. But then the next day comes, and what's going on? Is there this yielding? Is there this discipled life? Very often there isn't. And so the tragedy is that the greatest promises of life have been given and they're being squandered, because people haven't been taught and trained to be disciplined in their lives. Now, where does the word disciple come from? It comes from that word discipline. There's no great insight in it, is there? So what we've got to do is we've got to take that on board. Let me read a couple of scriptures to you right now. I'm going to read from John 14 and verse 21. He who has my commandments and keeps them, it is he who loves me. And he who loves me will be loved by my Father, and I will love him and manifest myself to him. See, the manifestation happens when we're yielded. How can we know what his commandments are unless we study the New Testament? We have to study the New Testament to show ourselves approved. And in 1 John 5, 2 and 3, it says this: by this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not burdensome. See, what's happened is this: many people haven't got into the rhythm of yielding in this way to the Word of God. I just want to encourage you to yield to the Word of God and just say to yourself, right, every day I'm going to live now with the rhythm of yielding to the Word of God. So every day you eat breakfast, have lunch and dinner. I want to encourage you, before you have those meals during the course of the day, pray a prayer. Doesn't need to be a long prayer. And read a chapter of the New Testament. When you do that, you're going to read the New Testament over 4 times a year. And that's going to mean that there's going to be a transformation taking place in your thinking. It means that we're going to line up to what the Word of God is saying to us. And that means that we're going to live the fullest life. Because Jesus said, listen, I've come that you would have life, and life in abundance. Many Christians are living half-hearted lives. They just haven't really got going in their faith because they haven't allowed the Word of God in. My friends, I'm inviting you now. You come on that journey into the Word of God. Find out that it's such a wonderful place to be, living in the reality of this new covenant. God bless you as you do.